Who hasn't started? Matt.
Yeah.
What do you do when you get stuck? Writer's block.
So I make myself have a daily word count, so there is no get stuck, right? Because I've got to write 2,000 words a day. So basically, it is.
Let's not 2,000.
If a thing's killing me, and this is especially if I'm starting a new book or series. For me, the believability of my story comes from me understanding how all the bits work, the world building, the magic, the characters, understanding them. That's really hard early on when you're just starting a story. And sometimes I'll just go, I'm just going to skip past this bit because I think too much about this. And sometimes if I just skip a bit that is a hurdle for me, go to the next bit and just, by the time you've got to the end of the story or further in, your brain has already filled in those bits and you come back and easily fill that bit in. But yeah, sometimes it's just skipping past it and just, because for me the need to write the word count defines I've just got to do this today. So yeah, so skip it and come back to it later. You'll be more wise about your own story if you do that.
Okay. I get less writer's block as such as mental health. So it depends on the reason. So if it's just I'm stuck at a point because I've written up to this point and I don't know what to do next, I'll go garden, I'll do some art, I'll do some photography, I'll shower. I tell you what, you go in the shower, your brain goes in neutral and suddenly these ideas pop in your head. If it's mental health, I get anxiety and PTSD, so sometimes I've just come off a 6 month not being able to write because of anxiety and stuff. So you just got to work through that. Do not stress yourself. I let my readers, like I'm doing now, know that I've got this issue, and I let them know when I'm having that issue, and they are pretty good and just say, yeah, let us know. So you've got to let yourself recover, and if I can, I'll work on shorter stories during that time, so if I can't concentrate on a big one. That's probably, letting my brain engage on other tasks and letting it not think about that, and it just bubbles away in the background, and suddenly this pop comes up and you've got an idea.
I would second the mental health. I worked in a hospital for a long time, but during 2020 and 2021 I was working in a hospital and it was stressful and I just did not have the scope to create because I was just surviving. So yeah, there's times where you've got to go, look, I know I want to be doing this and I feel really bad because I'm not doing this, but in the end I've actually got to protect, and you know, that's something that I now apply to all parts of my life, is you've got to protect your head and your brain so that you can actually do the creation thing. You've got to nurture yourself before you can nurture what you're trying to make too.
Absolutely agree with that. We've all been through stuff, you know what I mean? The anxiety is a huge one. Earlier this year I did try to force myself to write when I was not in a good headspace, and the book took on a very dark kind of vibe, which was not, for that particular story, what I was going for. And I just had to stop, and I'm just like, the character I was writing at the time went into a very dark place, and I'm like, actually, I don't want that for her. You know, we'll come back to this another time.
Can I ask a side question? If you are actually writing a story that has a dark theme, do you take that on yourself as well?
Yeah, look, I mean, you've got to get, I'm a huge, I create an atmosphere for myself. I'm a movie buff. I love movies. So I will put on a movie or music or something that has the atmosphere that I want for that story. And I'll have a movie playing while I'm writing. I don't write in silence. And that creates that vibe. But yeah, I wasn't in a good space. There was a lot going on. This character should not have been dealing with that, so I ended up scrapping it. But I will go completely off the do something else, because forcing yourself to write when you're blocked, you're not going to be happy with what you write. Do anything else, and that means anything else creative, or as Matt, because I do that too, you don't have to write your book in order. If you've got a rough plot plotted out, you go, actually I feel like writing this action scene, so do it. Write that action scene. Connect them up later. By doing that, you may create a hurdle for your characters you didn't previously think of. So yeah, doing anything else.
You're also still progressing.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Even if you're not writing it sequentially, it's still progression.
Yeah. Or procrastinating on one project with another project.
Is it Pickle who says, at the end of the day you can edit a bad
edit
page,
a blank
but
page.
you can't edit a blank page.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I have 3 projects going at any given time of
Oh,
varying different genres. It's like I'm not in the mood to write about aliens today. Oh, but there's a demon over here who's just screaming to be
Hello.
written. Yeah.
That's what demons do, isn't it?
It is.
Same.
They're very impatient.
Yes, they are.
Rob, did you have anything on getting stuck?
Yeah, I'll just throw in, I agree wholeheartedly with everything everyone said. For me, it's tiredness. If I'm physically tired, I just have to accept I might need to do something else on the day. One of my triggers, if I realise I'm bored by what I'm writing, that tells me maybe the idea isn't so good, or it's not for me now, and it's a waste of time. If you're bored by what you're doing, your reader's going to be even more bored. So I set that aside and move on to another project. If I get stuck because I don't know what comes next, that's when I start to go, I will look at my outline. Do I need to expand my outline? Do I need to mix something up? Is something broken? And that's why it's not working, because I outlined this, but actually, oh wait, there's 2 different levels, they don't connect. And so I might need to adjust and do that. The other thing is, sometimes I've worked out what I need to do, but it's hard. I have to rewrite things. I have to think through something else, and then I break it down. I make little notes. I do a little mind map. I write a scene. Anything that allows little victories. Because if it's hard work, then little victories will get you there, and often they can snowball and then build out the confidence, and all of a sudden it's no longer so hard. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Can I just say about
A little
word
victory
count?
is still a
Just
victory.
about word count work.
Yeah.
I'm envious of Matt, who does 2,000 words a day no matter what. Sometimes I don't get